Let's welcome to the show Georgia Republican Congressman Buddy Carter. It's good to see you, Congressman. Okay, we had Democrat Stacey Abrams. It's good to have you on. Stacey Abrams testified before Senate Judiciary. She seemed to try to have it both ways. She did admit she did support boycotts of the Georgia law, the vote law, but then she had appeared to deny that she supported that. What was your reaction to her testimony?
You know, Stacey Abrams penned an op-ed for USA Today 2 days before Major League Baseball pulled the All-Star game out of the city of Atlanta. The first 2 words she used were boycotts work. Now, words matter. And actions have consequences. Her accomplice in this, Raphael Warnock, admitted that he had signed on to an email that spread misinformation and lies about Georgia's Election Integrity Act a week before Major League Baseball pulled out of this. Now, they can't go back on this. This is history now. They were complicit in assisting and encouraging Major League Baseball to pull the All-Star game out of the state of Georgia. Their words, their actions had consequences, and unfortunately, those consequences ended up penalizing and harming hardworking Georgians and small businesses to the tune of $100 million to our economy. And who is it going to impact the most? Those hardworking Georgians, those small businesses, many of them minority small businesses, the very people that supposedly they were trying to help, they are hurting. They should be held accountable for this.
Well, you talk to Americans, folks out there, they say stop racism, cut it out, police brutality, stop that. You know, they don't want voter suppression, but when they read the law, they say, wait a second, how is this Jim Crow? Let's watch Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton call out Stacey Abrams' role in the boycott campaign of Georgia. Watch this.
On March 31st, you wrote an op-ed in the USA Today about Georgia's law, and your words in that op-ed were, boycotts work. 2 days later, on April 2nd, Major League Baseball announced its boycott of Georgia. According to media reports in the days leading up to Major League Baseball's decision to pull the All-Star game from Georgia, you spoke with baseball executives, you described the law as Jim Crow 2.0, and you urged Major League Baseball to speak out. But after its decision to withdraw the game from Georgia, you conveniently claimed that you had strongly urged them not to boycott after the horse was out of the barn and the damage was already done. So, Ms. Abrams, in sum, you publicly attacked the Georgia law as Jim Crow no fewer than 10 times.
10 times. What do you say?
No question about it. Listen, you can't go back on that. I mean, what's been done has been done. Raphael Warnock and Stacey Abrams, they are complicit in what has happened here. And now what are they doing? They're going after a great Georgia company, Home Depot. I remember when I was mayor and we got a Home Depot in our community. We were so excited to welcome a great Georgia company into our community. Home Depot is a great Georgia company that's provided millions of jobs for people and a livelihood for people. Been a great corporate citizen, and now they want to attack them, saying that they're not doing what they should be doing about this election law. It's ridiculous.
Okay, let's watch Stacey Abrams. Let's listen to this.
I would say that my conversations with Major League Baseball were very clear about the fact that I did not think a boycott was necessary. Well, I certainly regret the decision that MLB made to remove their game from Cobb County and the economic effect that it will have on Georgians writ large. I support anyone who will try to stop this type of bad behavior, this type of racial animus, this type of voter suppression from happening in Georgia or elsewhere in the country, because to me, one day of games is not worth losing our democracy.
Okay, it's hard to square, an op-ed that she wrote that says boycotts work, but then she tells the MLB it's not necessary. She testifies she does support voter ID laws, saying, quote, there are 35 states out there with voter identification laws. She claims, though, that Georgia's law is restrictive. But how is it restrictive when you have free voter ID cards from the state? You have to use your last 4 digits of your Social Security number on your absentee ballot form, and then you can use your electricity bill. So how is this restrictive?
It's misinformation and lies. There's no question about it. That's what Stacey Abrams and Raphael Warnock are engaged in now. The election integrity law in the state of Georgia made voting easier and cheating harder. There's no question about it. And they are complicit in what they're doing, and we're not going to take this line down. We're going to fight back, and I'm fighting back. I introduced legislation, the Community Protection Against Sports Act. And what that does is to give local communities an avenue, a mechanism by which they can recoup financial losses as a result of Major League Baseball pulling out a game based on lies and information. And they've invested in this, infrastructure improvements, advertising, and now they're going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars.
Okay.
And who's going to be penalized? Hardworking Georgians and small businesses, many minority small businesses.
They're saying it's Jim Crow to have drop boxes cut back in the state of Georgia. When drop boxes for mail-in ballots didn't exist before 2020. They're saying it's Jim Crow to have to request a mail-in ballot 2.5 months prior versus 6 months prior, where they were automatically bailed in the 2020 election because of the pandemic. So I think the media, we saw mistakes made at CNBC, MSNBC, CNN. We've seen reporting on this that is so off the wall and off the mark and not factual. They're taking what happened in 2020 with the election when it was about a pandemic, and now a lot of that stuff is enshrined in the law when it didn't exist before. So we're going to stay on the story, Congressman. It's good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.